Yes, we are. Okay, hold on. I gotta get a little closer and turn the mic up because things. All right, how's that? That should be better, right? Yeah. Okay, it was the background music that was too bad. Okay, there we go. Hi, everybody. How we doing? How's life going? Uh, you're gonna have to let me know how sound goes, mostly because hi, I am playing with the outdoor setup, and it is very windy today. So if I brought the good mic out, it was not going to work so well. But hi, everybody. I am your friendly neighborhood Prax. Welcome to the channel. We are going to do some outdoor cooking fun tonight, which will be great. At least in my opinion. Lots of fun. Lots of fun cooking. Uh, which, is a good time for everybody. Today, you can see that I have a large collection of ingredients. We're going to be doing some fun things. Uh, Burgers and pasta salad. And so that is what we're gonna do. And oh, stuff whipped feta for olives because I am a big, huge fan of whipped feta and of olive. Well, Sicilian olives. I am a picky olive person. I acknowledge this failing of mine that I am a picky olive person. Or not. It's not a failing. It's perfectly fine. But we have the grill set up behind me. Yes, boys, feta can indeed be whipped. It has to do with how you do it and what you put it with, but it can indeed be whipped. Um, so first up, I'm going to do the most important task. I pre-set some things. Number one, I pre-filled the pot of water because you don't want to watch me fill a pot of water. But let that get going. And let that get happy because that's always going to take the most time. Um, so we'll come back to the pasta salad when that starts boiling. It'll make life easy. It'll make life easy. We have a lot of things here. Half of this is for pasta salad. Half of this is for stuffing olives and making stuffed olives. So we're gonna slide this out of the way because the first thing we're gonna do is make up the burgers so that they can chill while we do the pasta salad, and then put them on the grill so that everything can be done after the pasta is ready. Timing is important when cooking. In the general sense of if you know how long something will take, you know how much effort you're going to have to expend and plan around everything else. Okay, so it is low when I'm not speaking to it. Okay. Yeah, sorry guys. I'm still playing with this. I'll make sure that it is as high as I can get it. Um, I thought about bringing out the Yeti, but for those of you who don't know, Long Island Sound is 7 houses that way. And if you can see the side of the awning, you can see it's really kind of fluttering. It's really kind of that level of breezy where it's not uncomfortable or actually very breezy feeling, but it's very loudy wind wise. And I thought that would be a bigger problem for sound. Um, but hey, if you want to help me buy more nice things like a body mic or a additional directional mic, uh, that's what I have a Ko-Fi for. So you can help me do all of those cool things. But first up, burgers, so we can mold them, set them, let them chill, because you don't want burgers that are just room temperature. Yeah, I think maybe like a pop filter. I don't have one of those either. Um, Pop filter is not something I've got. I should get one though. It's on the list. Uh, One of the most important things about burgers is most meat you want to cook at standing room temperature because it will cook more evenly, it will cook better. You'll get a nice sear, you'll cook through in a certain amount. But burgers, you want to chill just enough so that they set, so that they don't lose their shape when you put them on the grill. Because it's ground beef and you need something to hold it together. Particularly if you're doing something like chicken or turkey or salmon burgers, all of those you want to have definitely chilled, maybe even set in the freezer for like 15 minutes. Today we're going to do lamb. Because again, I can't eat ground beef, sadness, but I can do lamb because lamb is great. So, let me get this out of the way because we're going to come back to everything in this beautiful bowl in a little bit. And we're going to come over here and showcase the fact that I really am that old-fashioned. I have, for venison, instant potatoes is the fix for it to stay together. Exactly. Venison works. Instant potatoes work. You can put breadcrumbs sometimes. There's why so many veggie burgers have rice in them as a binder. Um, you need something to hold it together. Uh, the fattier the meat, the better it will hold together, which is why if you're doing beef burgers, 85-15 is really your ideal fat to lean ratio because it has enough fat to hold everything together, but it's not too much that it'll all just be like a flash flame. 90-10 is a little thin on the fat quantity. Um, but, but, let's see if I can do something even better. Hold on one second. Let me see if something works. Okay, that's not going to work. I was going to try and switch to the other mic, but it was not going to work. I'll just have to make sure to project because I can do that. I can project as long as I don't sound like I'm yelling at everybody. Um, but we are gonna, yes, I have one of these. It is actually a lifesaver. It is a just pop up little food tent. Your grandmother probably had one or seven, and they are so useful for keeping bugs or anything away from any food that you want out or anything as you're getting going. And then they just, very neatly get squished down and held together with an elastic that attaches. And I can even do this part. So it looks like that. All right, slide that over there for right now. Okay, so lamb. You can see it is bright, beautiful red, fresh ground lamb, fully defrosted. I am very basic when it comes to seasoning my burgers. And the reason for that is um, I like to change up what toppings I'm going to put on my burger. And well, people are like, oh, you can get really fancy and do like lamb and feta or like put crushed red pepper, put like peppers in your burgers or do all of these other weird fancy things. It's like, yes, if you're making one or two, fine. But if you're going to make burgers, you're going to make more than two burgers, hopefully. In this case, we're going to make 4 roughly because it's a pound of ground lamb, and so we're going to make 4 quarter-pound burgers. If I want to change, you know, I myself am not going to eat 4 burgers, right? Like, that's not going to happen. But if I make them now and I take it out of the freezer and be like, today I want to put like spicy horseradish mustard and ketchup, lettuce, and tomato, versus maybe next time I want to do feta spread and harissa or something like that. I have the option and the opportunity to do so because the flavor profile at the base is not going to conflict with anything that I would add to it. And while Annie Geek doesn't mind apparently letting flies into his burgers as they're just extra protein, I do not like that. Also, perfect summertime beverage, fresh ginger peach tea. Perfect. If you have a couple peaches, they're just this side of overripe, you know, like just enough that it's they're perfectly fine. They're even easy to eat. They're just a little soft. Throw them with a little either fresh ginger or fresh grated ginger, or what I use is the ginger juice because it's easier to keep shelf stable. Throw that into with like the vessel that you're using to steep the tea before you put it to chill, and let it sit there for like 15, 20, maybe an hour. And it will be perfect. Absolutely perfect. But lamb. We have lamb. We have garlic powder. I use garlic powder when it comes to something like this so it evenly distributes flavor. And you don't just bite into a piece of garlic in your ground burger. Candied ginger is also good if you don't want to add sugar later, as Annie Geek says. That is actually really good. Black pepper, cracked sea salt. Basic trilogy. All you need in any basic premix, right? Garlic. And you should be able to smell your garlic. If you cannot smell the garlic, when you open the canister, your garlic is old, and get fresh garlic. Now, mind you, we are a Sicilian household. The garlic is never that old. It never can last long enough for it to get that way. Garlic is a seasoning that goes in pretty much everything. And because you want everything to be evenly mixed, you always season at least twice. You're going to season more, and you're going to add more flavors as you go, but your base seasoning is going to be at least twice. So, and yes, I use a dinner fork to do this because it helps keep the ground meat loose and not stick together, and it loosens it up as we go. Black pepper. And again, any seasonings you want, just always think about what seasoning you're going to put on later. Because there have been times when people are like, I have been very experimental and made some very interesting, like hatch green chili burgers. They were great. Except then I put a couple in the freezer thinking I'll have them later, and I forgot that I had made them as hatch green chili and I forgot to label them. That was on me. And I put spicy mustard on them without looking, and that was a little. Horseradish mustard and hatch green chili was not a flavor combination that I was a big fan of. Let's just put it that way. And Geek is correct. There is no such thing as too much garlic. There is, however, a thing is way too much salt. But we're not there yet. the seasoning is going to be different than if I was making beef burgers or chicken burgers or salmon burgers. What your core protein mix is going to have a big effect on what your seasoning profile should be. Um, and the more, shall we say, traditional meats, like beef, is you're going to need perhaps less of something than you would put on, like, say, lamb. Unless you're a really big fan of lamb. I have to admit, because we're doing lamb, I'm not a big mint and lamb person. Because I think it's one of those, I'm just not a big mint in savory dishes person. I really like mint in sweet dishes or beverages. Like, I am not a fan of, traditional mint with lamb. I'm not a big fan of, mint is pretty, I mean, for me, I am always going, mint is a dessert flavor, and the best thing in the world is mint and chocolate. Mint chocolate chip ice cream, mint chocolate cookies, thin mints. But I think that also might be an issue of, like, my heritage. We are Sicilian. We put um, mint in, or I think the only thing I've put mint in as a savory is part of, like, as an accent flavor in some North African dishes that I've done. But it's not. But in that case, there are a lot of other spices, in which case the mint is blended in well enough. But usually with lamb, I'm going garlic, oregano, salt, pepper, maybe crushed red pepper, um, maybe some onion. And unfortunately, I can't do rosemary, so no problem. Fun fact, everybody! Did you know that rosemary genus is the same thing as a pine tree? And if you're allergic to pine pollen, odds are you're going to be allergic to rosemary and lavender. Things you don't think of until you have to. And you're trying to figure out why you keep having food allergy reactions to certain things. All right, so I'm just going to set this over here and leave it covered for a minute. And I'm going to take out one of the best things that you should, if you like cooking out at home, if you like doing burgers at home, if you're a person that just enjoys playing with things like this, this. Hashtag totally not sponsored, but if they want to, I will take their money. This is the Tupperware burger making set. It is designed so you can mold, press into the base, and all of the bases stacked together, and then you can just stick them into the freezer. Hey, Rafiki, welcome in there. So, like I said, and then it comes with a lid that you put on the top one, and then you just leave it in the freezer, and then if you only need one, you just pop off one and go make yourself a burger. And of course, like all Tupperware, you see that little thing at the bottom right there? That is where you push out the burger. Hashtag not sponsored at all. But if Tupperware wants to give me money, I will totally do ads for Tupperware. Also, odds are some older relative has one of these. This thing is legitimately older than I am. I think that my mother got it as a shower gift or shortly thereafter. But, okay. Porch making stuffed burgers. Hey, Schmelzer. A lot of them make stuffed burgers, but this is just great for regular burgers. Even the same thing. Now, through many years of trial and error, I have learned the secret of the Tupperware burger maker. Spray it first. Hi, this is our friend Pam. Again, hashtag not sponsored. And you'll notice that I have got a cutting board down. I put a cutting board down to make sure that I have minimal effort to have to clean up when I have to clean up the marble later. What happened? Is the okay? Okay. All right, let's see if I can't make this work a little bit better. All right, that's a little bit better, right, guys? Okay. Okay. So, and I can even turn it like that so you can see me. There. Aha. Look, we're getting very fancy and very technical. And you can see my neighbor's backyard and the beautiful fence. Spray so it gets on all the sides. Now we're going to do, because this is a pound of meat, we're going to do 4. And as I have learned, spray them in advance. It makes it so much easier because once you get started playing around with the ground meat, you do not want to take the time to stop and wash your hands a third time. Okay. Then you line up the thing. We uncover our lamb that we have seasoned. We get our cover out of the way because our cover takes up a lot of space. All right. Lamb. Now, I know that this is 1 pound of lamb. So what I'm going to do is do this the easy way and just divide it mostly in fourths, roughly in fourths. And then kind of see what I get, like division-wise. Oh, that one looks a little smaller. Take a little bit from those other 2. There you go. It does not have to be perfect. If you really want to get fancy and professional and want to make sure these are perfect, you can get out like a kitchen scale and weigh them. But, you know, I don't. I do not do that. So instead, I've got my container, my mold, and my little pushy downy thingy, which I know is a very, very technical term. And then you want to twist to make sure that it settles evenly in the mold. And then you twist back the other way so that it releases cleanly. Slide the mold out. Put it to the side. Look at that perfect burger right in there. Isn't that pretty? Oh, so pretty. Now, because it's the first one, we let that sit over there. We take portion number 2 and do the exact same thing. Do a full twist all the way around. Stop. Twist back. Check. It's not even. Put a little more even pressure as I go around. Again, twist back. Pops clean off. Pop off mold, and then pop them one right on top of the other. Like that. Now, once you've got 2 done, the next trick, which is even more fun, is to take it at this stage and you could set it on top and mold it that way. I know people who do that. My dad does it that way all the time, and he has somehow perfected it so it doesn't squish down. I have not yet perfected it that way, but then again, he's owned these particular burger makers for a lot longer than, again, I have been alive. Almost forgot the mold. Burger. So I do it this way. It takes a little couple extra seconds, but you know, it really, for my money, just is a little safer. Boop, boop, boop. Stack it back up. Last one. And again, easy, simple, makes life great. So what is y'all's favorite burger? My dad has become a big fan of making 50/50 beef and bison burgers because you can get ground bison relatively inexpensively. There it is. Okay. Um, and you know, I can't eat beef or bison. All right. So now we cover these up, and I'm gonna take that beautiful stack right there. Those 4 burgers. Elk and ostrich are pretty good. I have had ostrich once. I wasn't. I think it was because I got it at like a restaurant, and I wasn't a big fan of the seasonings and the toppings that they used. I would want to do it again. Elk, I am a big fan of elk not in burgers. And I just don't know why it is. It's just like I don't like elk in burgers. I like it in other stuff. Um, yeah, Hawkeye stuffed burgers are great if you remember that you have to stuff them all the way around. Like you have to seal them up. And usually it should be something like cheese at a certain point. Um, and it goes with beef and pork stuffed with Havarti, mushrooms, and onions and some kind of hot pepper. I mean, that's great. Yes, beef alternatives are great. I personally can no longer eat beef, which is why we're doing lamb. Um, so I'm going to take 2 seconds and pop this into the fridge so that they can chill a little bit before we start heating up this. And then we're going to shift over to making some, also getting rid of the meat uh, bowl, and going to pop over and shift to the next step for today. Be right back. And again, that is one of the most important steps y'all want to take when you make burgers is to take the time to stop and put them in the fridge for 15, 20 minutes if they're beef, lamb, venison. If they're chicken, turkey, or salmon, you want to stick them in the freezer for like 10 minutes. Not enough that it's freezing, but. All right. The water is boiling. Well, not boiling, but I mean, it's going to boil. And we're going to, like to call them Bambi burgers. Look, I'm a fan. I will say, boys, one of the big things that I'm a big fan of with elk is if you saw on my Twitter, I posted a picture. Kelly, the opera geek, and I went to the cheese store that's in my town. And yeah, boys, if you chill them just a little bit before they go on the grill, then they set. Other meats you want to do at like room temperature, right? So that you can get a more even temperature through the meat and then it can cook better. But with burgers, you want, because it's just ground beef, and you've worked with it, you want to give a chance for that fat to settle and hold things together. Um, yeah, I was saying that Kelly and I went to the cheese store, which is up the road in town. It was one of my favorite places in town. It is Look, it is both a cheese store and they do their own salumi, and they have a whole bunch of specialty meats that they do, specialty butcher meats. And one of the things I bought from them and I did for my mother's birthday, because again, I can't eat beef, they had elk ossobuco. Mwah! Perfect. Pull that bone right out, set it to the side. Absolutely perfectly tender. So good. Um, but they also do this cheese store, by the way, also does a killer duck prosciutto. Honest to God. Mwah. Where am I? Ah, next step in our progressive actions is I'm going to make the stuffing. Yes, El Buco. It was to die for. Um, actually, if y'all, I post pictures of it on my Instagram. I don't remember, boys. Now you're asking me to spell things? I honestly can't remember. Um, all right. So we're gonna do step number one. Oh, I didn't bring it. Oh, I didn't bring it out. Hold on, 1 second. Gotta get the measuring cup. Okay. I feel better now. Sorry about that, everybody. I forgot the measuring cup. Look, it could be either one or two. I honestly don't know. I know it's two S ossobuco. Who knows? Don't ask me to spell. Um, Good old fashioned Pyrex measuring cups. Very useful for the next step. Now, remember how I said I am very picky when it comes to my olives? But I really like olives. But I'm very picky about which ones I really like. These Sicilian olives. Castelvetrano olives. Preferably pitted, because I don't have the time or the energy to pit olives myself. But what I love to do with these is I either stuff them and I use the whipped feta to stuff them and then marinate them. Or I marinate them and make the whipped feta and then just dunk them in the whipped feta, depending on how much time and effort I feel like doing. Stuffing an olive is a pain in the butt. And if you says I'll eat any olive as long as it doesn't have a pimento, I mean, that's fair. You're not wrong. All right. So here's the thing. I do want to make sure that I get you get actual Sicilian olive, Casalaventro. It's not the worst thing I've eaten. All right. See these beautiful, beautiful big green olives? All right. Now we're just going to drain them in to our handy dandy Pyrex. And I'm not even going to, and it's just technically water that's in them. I mean, well, not all, really. What is it? Yeah, water and salt a little bit, just enough to keep it fresh. But see how big and gorgeous those are? Like, look at that. They're beautiful. Get it show up a little bit better for y'all. Um, I have, when I get fancy for parties, um, stuffed them. Actually stuffed them. I'm not in the mood to do that today. However, I'm going to show you how I marinate them. I take the jar that I just drained all of this wonderful water out of, and I take very good extra virgin olive oil, preferably Sicilian, but whatever extra virgin olive oil you can get, and then Thai chili infused olive oil. And what we're going to do is we're going to put some oil. Yeah, it comes up about that much on the bottom, on the jar, if you can see that on the label. Maybe a fourth, maybe about. And then some chili oil. Well, it comes up a little bit more. And depending on how spicy you want, you know, I like to use a couple big splashes, whatever. It's as spicy as you want it to be. Now, you could take the time and add some garlic pieces in here or whatever. I'm much more basic in this now that I've got olive oil, the two olive oils, and you take a second and you shake it, right? Take a little second, shake it, mix it up so that the chili oil and the regular oil kind of muddle together in beautifulness. And then we take these olives and we stick them right back inside. And we push them down into the thingy. You seal them back up as tight as you can, and you shake so that the olives are just kind of chilling. No, I'm not making anybody olive juice. And you can set them upside down for a little bit, and then just flip them and set those to the side because they're just going to sit there and get happy while we make everything else. Next up, and it doesn't really matter if I mix, you know, I don't have to wash the jar or wash the school bus. Anybody know the word for this in English? Doesn't matter. All right, same thing, but now for the pasta salad, we're going to take our very good sliced banana peppers. Sieve, thank you. Okay, that works. Sliced hot banana peppers. I go with the traditional Napoli. You could go with what you want. And again, make sure you save all that beautiful vinegar. It'll be very important in the near future. Well, we take the effort of getting all of these peppers out of the jar. Now, here's the next important step. Do not wash this jar. Mango juice, cranberry juice, shot of pineapple rum, a splash of Sprite, and half a shot of olive juice. I don't judge anyone's liquor choices. Hey, Faye, welcome in. All right, so we take these beautiful banana peppers and set them over here for a second because I'm going to take this beautiful jar, take some of this wonderful extra virgin olive oil that we have, get a good amount in the jar. take the vinegar mixture from your banana peppers, add that in. So it's just over half oil and half vinegar water. I do it that way because it's a little bit better. Now, oh, where did I? Hold, please. I forgot something. Okay, back again. And then I'm going to take this Greek salad seasoning. Oh, hello. There we go. Victoria Taylor's Greek salad seasoning. The reason is this has everything that I would want to put in this dressing. Fennel, oregano, thyme, crushed red pepper, basil, garlic, sea salt, carrots, and sesame oil. Now, I have all of these things. This is just faster. And at the end of the day, cooking should be fun and also not overly stressful. So, I'm gonna take this, going to add, a couple dashes, maybe a little bit more. What amounts to about like a couple tablespoons into the jar that had our peppers in it, remember? Take this whole thing. Oh, look, we have dressing for our for our pasta salad. And because we used this pepper vinegar, it's going to add this nice even amount of heat all the way through the pasta salad. And now I'm just going to set this to the side and let it get happy, as we say. Okay. Yeah. Take these and this out of the way. Save the rest of this vinegar, pepper vinegar. You have multiple uses for it. You can go ahead and get rid of the olive water. Pasta pot is boiling. And there it is. We are going to make pasta salad. When you make pasta salad, it is important to consider the type of pasta that you will be using for your pasta salad. Ideally, you want a short pasta with enough texture and shape that it can go with any number of things. My go-to is usually farfalle. Yes. Hey, Malk, welcome in. Barilla. It is your least expensive Italian import. There are other really good Italian import pastas. This is where I get on my high horse and say, do not buy cheap pasta. Number one reason is if you read your box and the box ingredients do not list is the first ingredient. Hold on, can I get it to focus? It says here, semolina flour. If your first ingredient is not semolina flour followed by durum wheat flour, you've got problems and you should not be making pasta out of it. Not enjoying that pasta. Barilla is the least expensive of the big Italian imports. It's the one I go to. Again, hashtag not sponsored. There are many different types of Italian pasta. I choose depending on what, again, I'm doing. But again, for a pasta salad, you want texture, you want shape. We're going to go with Celentani today. They're these beautiful little textured spirals. You can see that. This nice little beautiful textured spiral. Oh yeah, Barilla is perfectly fine. Barilla is great. I mean, Barilla is going to be your best option because it's usually the one will go on the sale the most. Almost every big box store, you know, every major grocery store in the country carries them. They're easily accessible and they are very, very good. They have really great customer service and really any of the Italian import brands is going to be really good for concerns about allergens and concerns about like if you can get if you need to for any reason have a GF pasta, like for example my sister has celiac, so when we make pasta dishes for her, we make GF versions, and Barilla, again, basic level is one of the best for GF pastas that you can get. They have a really good line for that and a lot of protection. And I am without my spoon. Hold on. Okay. So, the pasta water is boiling. I'm going to take the lid off. Now, usually, do this and open it for a reason. Usually, you want to salt your pasta water. You should be cooking your pasta at so it tastes like the Mediterranean, because that is the point at which flavor is being added. However, I do not usually recommend that for pasta salad, and this is why. I have found, in my experience, that when you are more likely to season all of the ingredients that are going into the pasta salad, and that can add almost too much sodium, particularly if you're going to then add, like we are going to do later, a smoked cheese to your pasta salad. You end up with a lot of extra sodium. But salting the pasta water, do not put oil in your pasta water. It does nothing except make a pain in the ass to clean. Oil floats on top of water, everybody. Your pasta is not going to float right away. It's not going to help you. What will help you prevent it from sticking to the pot is to swirl the water with your spoon as you add the pasta and then keep stirring for a couple minutes or a couple seconds. Now, you could go with the old trick of laying a wooden spoon across the top. It does actually work. I am not currently going to do that because I don't have enough space to do so. But that is that. We've got pasta down. We've got vegetables getting together for our pasta salad. Cleaning up as I go because that is important. Now, one of the great things about how we're doing this is we are reusing space and making life easy for ourselves. As we go. So, this bowl. This bowl is what we're going to use to mix the pasta salad and everything in it. So what I'm going to do is, as I go, in this case, finishing prepping all of the ingredients, I'm just going to put them straight into this bowl. Makes life so much easier. Simple steps to make your life easy. So, we have our pepperoncini. Well, they're not pepperoncini, they're banana peppers. I like them a little bit better than pepperoncini. Okay. Now, I'm also going to pull out this one. You can see it's still got the stem attached. I'm just going to cut off the stem. And I'm just going to give these rings a rough chop. The reason being, you want to just kind of make them bite-sized, sort of, so that you can, just have them all on the fork with the pasta at the same time, and not have to worry about the, the rings come a little big, all of these things. But again, it doesn't have to be perfect and it doesn't have to be pretty. It's just a rough chop in two directions to make sure that they are going to give you a good amount of peppers. Now, I've got about half the peppers left in here. If I was making what I usually do when I make pasta salad, 2 pounds of pasta, I would use the whole jar. Right now, I'm not going to do that. Right now, I'm only going to use half of the jar. And then when we come back and after I add the pasta, I can see what the quantity is and how that is, and I can add more later. Because that's the great thing about pasta salad. You do what you want. Except put mayonnaise in it. Mayonnaise does not belong in this. Olive oil, vinegar, seasonings, vegetables, pasta. No mayonnaise. I have aversions. We've discussed a couple of them. If you were there Sunday for the premiere of Carousel Court, you'll also know that I have perversion. I have concerns about mayonnaise in other dishes, like potato salad. All right. Next up, I'm going to move this out of the way for a second. Back over here. Now, I like eggplant. I like eggplant in my potato salad. This eggplant is not going in my potato salad. Do you know why? Not really Greek yogurt, but if you want, I guess. The reason this eggplant is not going in my salad is because this eggplant has not been pressed. Now, if you have people who say, I hate eggplant, it's so bitter, I can't handle it, that's because people don't handle eggplant correctly. Eggplant must be pressed. And by pressed, I mean, well, pressed. And so I'm going to show you exactly how we handle eggplant. Give me 2 seconds, get this out of the way. Eggplant must be pressed. Look. My first job was working at a pizzeria as one of the local pizzerias, literally down the corner, as the hostess, right? Basically the job you give a 16-year-old girl or 15-year-old girl. Answer phones, take messages, those kind of, take orders, see people, that's it. But I spoke Sicilian. The owner's families were from Sicily. And Poppy, the owner, well, he and his wife were the original owners, and then he had given it to his 2 sons, and they were taking over the business. He taught me how to make eggplant parm. Eggplant parm, by the way, is a 3-day process, and if you do not do it correctly, Poppy will come back from heaven and curse you all. Hey baby, if you can't see, there's an obstacle here attempting to help me clean up. Hey, Bella. 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 Would you like to see my assistant? That's why I have so many courses in the past few years. Probably, if you were attempting to make eggplant parm and not letting it take the full time. But I figured because I will show you how to prepare this eggplant for what will eventually go in the pasta salad. Not this one, because again, this one, oh, it's in the way. This one is not pressed yet. But seriously, 3 days? Okay, so day number 1 is this step. You cut off the top, you cut off the bottom. You pull your eggplant. Now, if you're making eggplant parm, you would slice it in streaks long ways, because what we're doing is going to end up being for pasta salad, and actually is my standard prep for eggplant. And if you actually see, it says 6 eggplant slices because I put these in the freezer. What I do is I do the same prep for salting them, draining them, pressing them, and then we'll do like 3 or 4 eggplants and do the whole thing, and then put them on the grill, and then divide them up into sections, and then me and my mom can just eat them whenever. But then you want to cut here, if you can see, about maybe just over a 1/4 inch thick slices, leaving the skins on for now. Now, if you really want, it is theoretically possible to do eggplant parm in 1 day. If you have enough time, if you start early enough in the day where you are going to have at least 8 hours to press your eggplant. No, it specifically said 8 hours minimum. Now, I found this. You can see the texture at the bottom. This is very useful. If you don't have one with a textured bottom, you can get like any glass dish and put a small wire rack in it. And the rack is important because we're going to press these eggplant, and you want the extra liquid to fall to the bottom, so it's not actually sitting on the eggplant that's on the bottom layer. So what we're going to do, we're going to take these eggplant slices that we just made. Here, I'm going to pivot this a little bit. There we go. That's better. And you're going to layer them in the bottom of the thing, whatever container you use. Again, making sure that whatever container you use has something underneath it so it won't sit in the liquid. You're going to take good old-fashioned salt, just your plain salt. Shake it on top. Take a layer of paper towel. Put that down. Put your next layer of eggplant down. More salt. Your next layer of paper towel. And again, you're going to have, depending on how much eggplant you got in there, this is it. Finally, your last layer of salt. Your last layer of paper towel. Again, tucking the sides in, and this is really lucky because it came with a lid, but did I bring it out? No, I did not. Now, Nana would just put a pile of dishes on top or other things like that, or this wonderful tool. See the beautifulness? She would also just sometimes use cast iron skillet, but this is the beautiful thing that is called a bacon press. Cast iron, it's a heavy weight. You could do some serious damage to somebody with this. And set it right on top. Now I just need a foiled wrap paper stone. Also an option. Or any big heavy rock. But I mean, ideally cover it in foil so you don't get like rock nastiness on your eggplant. Set this overnight in your fridge. If you were trying to do this the same day, at least 8 hours sitting out. Overnight over in the fridge, up to 24 hours in the fridge. Longer, better. When this comes out, you do step 2, which is spray them with oil, or brush them with oil, lay them out on if you're going to do them during, if it's doing them inside in the oven, you brush them with oil and put seasoning on them, whatever you're going to season them with. Usually, for my money, salt, pepper, garlic, oregano, basil, crushed red pepper. And then stick them in the oven for about 40 to 50 minutes, flipping in between, halfway. Or you can do them on the grill, and it's usually about 50, about 10 minutes shorter, 20 minutes maybe. And our pasta is coming along nicely. All right, so now we go back to our bowl with our peppers in it. And this is the eggplant that I have done previously. And that is why we are not putting the fresh eggplant in, because it comes out looking like this. Now this has been in the freezer, which is fine, but it's fully defrosted. I mean, I had it out for a couple hours. But it's well seasoned. At this point, you could just take it and throw it on a sandwich, some good Italian bread, a little olive oil, a little roasted red pepper, some fresh basil, all those good things. And you have yourself a perfectly good sandwich. And this is just step 1. Now if you were making eggplant parm, you would take those long slices, again, do that same long-term press. You would take them out after about 10 hours or overnight, and then maybe a couple, usually like 9 o'clock the next morning. Blot them entirely dry. This is the point at which you flour, egg wash, breadcrumbs, back onto a baking sheet on parchment paper, back into the fridge overnight. And then you take those out the next morning and they're ready and set to pan fry perfectly and get beautifully crispy on the outside and beautifully cooked on the inside, but not eh. And then you can do whatever you want with them. So I'm just going to take this stack of eggplant and take just cut them up bite-sized pieces. Again, they don't have to be perfect. They're just going to go straight into the bowl. And again, it's got the same kind of, and as you see, they're seasoned, right? Well, they're seasoned with that same kind of salt, pepper, garlic, oregano, basil, crushed red pepper, marjoram, and thyme, which is, basically the same thing that's on that in that dressing that we just made. So there you go. And again, for this preparation, I leave the skins on. If I'm doing an eggplant parm, I usually take the skins off. But the skins have some really great flavor in them, and they also add a lot of the healthy benefits of your eggplant. You want to have some good melons on. All of this is edible. And hey, Mandy, we're doing pretty good. We're making some pasta salad. Mandy has actually had my pasta salad. Now, admittedly, this is not going to have all the same vegetables as last time, but Mandy can confirm that I make a decent pasta salad. take a second to toss your peppers and your eggplant. Now, time to check on the pasta. Yeah, that looks just about done. Now, I can tell my pasta is done by color and by smell, just because I've done that. When we say al dente, which is what pasta should be done to, means you should be able to bite into it and have texture and taste and not be mush. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now, the next trick. You take your bowl, and I am this time not currently going to do what I have done many a time before, which is just take the whole pot over to the sink and strain it all into the school of pasta. Not going to do that because I want this pasta water for my tomato plant. I want to take all of this beautiful pasta water and feed my tomato plant and my roses. Pasta water is great. It has lots of starches and nutrients that can go with your plants. And as you can hear, my dog is excited to come back and say hello. So, I'm going to take, and if you end up with a little pasta water in here, it's okay. It's just going to help things. And you'll notice what we did is we put the cold things on the bottom, underneath the hot pasta. Because this is going to help everything come to the same temperature. Hello, Bella. Have you decided to come back and help everybody as we do this? Now it is a slightly slower process doing it this way, I will admit, but this is sometimes necessary to do things the right way. Mandy giving me all of these good things, and all of this good pasta water again is going to end up feeding the plants, giving some very important nutrients. It is, however, slightly a pain in the do it this way. Because you have to make sure that you are always checking to make sure you got all of the pasta. Last one tried to escape me. All right. We have pasta in a bowl, even. And from there, we're going to go ahead. Again, we made up the dressing beforehand. I don't want dressing on it yet because it's hot. I do want to just go back with some plain extra virgin olive oil and give it a splash or two so it doesn't stick together. And this is where you're going to start tossing your vegetables in your pasta together. So you get lots of pasta and veggies, and nothing is going to stick to each other. There we go. And I can be pizza land because it's my dinner. That's going to taste really good. All right. So, pasta, eggplants, peppers, but we're not done yet. But the next ingredient we want to wait on. You do not want to put tomatoes in your hot pasta if you're doing pasta salad. The reason you can do it with the eggplant and the peppers is, number one, the eggplant was still a little cold because I had frozen it in there, just let it defrost. So this is going to help it all come to the same temperature. The peppers, because they were canned. Oh, hello. Hey, Brian, thank you for bringing your group over. Hey, everybody from Brian's stream. I really appreciate it. Hi, everybody. I am your friendly neighborhood Prax. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome in. We are out here making, on my back porch, making some beautiful, beautiful dinner. Hey, Tanya, thank you for that resub. I really, really do appreciate it. For those of you who are new here, my name is, I am Prax. Use she, her pronouns. I do cooking streams occasionally with my mother. She is not here with me today. And I do a lot of TTRPG stuff around here. We are today up on the menu. We are doing some lamb burgers that are going to be going on the grill in a minute. Some pasta salad, which has banana peppers and eggplant in it. And we'll be adding some tomatoes after the pasta finishes cooling off. But hi, everybody. Thank you for that raid, Brian. I really do appreciate it. Let's see if I can remember. How to do things. Yes, I did. Oh, tonight was Star Trek night. Oh, you're right. There you are, Tanya. You're there twice. But yes. So pasta salad, eggplant, beautifulness, and as we have discussed, you cannot use the eggplant. Oh, you could do the shadow. Oh well, thank you, Tanya. I'm so sorry about remembering to say these things and ask people for help. I don't usually do that. I appreciate you, Tanya. Also, just saying. Just saying. All right. We've got pasta salad working on. We've got our dressing for the pasta salad done. The secret to this, to get really good dressing for a pasta salad, by the way, yes, I get to see you in August, and you will get to have plenty of time to chill out here on the back porch, and we will have all the good things, and you can let me know what you want. Let me know what you want me to make. The secret to making a really great dressing for pasta salad, by the way, A, do not use mayonnaise anywhere near good pasta salad, and B, you take the vinegar that marinates these banana pepper slices and use that as the vinegar for your dressing. Lamb burgers are easy. We can do a lot of lamb burgers. We can even do smoked lamb. I've done that. Mandy can tell you about smoked lamb, and so can Kelly. We are marinating some good Sicilian olives, Casaloventro Sicilian olives, drained them, added some regular olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, and some Thai chili oil to let them get going. And the wind picked up. And I'm sorry all about the not as perfect as I would like sound quality, but we will work on that for next time. All right, but back to the discussion. You do not want to put cold tomatoes in your hot pasta. It will just heat them up very quickly, and then you'll have hot pasta, hot tomatoes, and start making a really good tomato sauce. Unless, of course, that's what you want, to have hot pasta and use that with just fresh tomatoes in a pan with a little olive oil, a little garlic, and pasta water, and have yourself a perfect fresh tomato pasta. But we want to have pasta salad, and we want cold tomatoes to go in our pasta salad, so you let everything cool over there before we do that. Yeah, macaroni salad is maybe a thing that exists, and I am not a fan of mayonnaise with embibage at the best of times, and I have no desire to put anywhere near pasta. All right, let me get this out of the way, as we have our messing away. And now we get to go with both the burgers, which I should light the grill for. Um, and we have fire. I like fire. But then again, who doesn't? We all like fire. To go with the olives, and possibly today I might spread it on my burgers because I really enjoy it, I'm going to make some whipped feta. Thank you for that follow. Welcome in. Appreciate everybody and all of those hype and everything. We're going to make some whipped feta. Now, feta can indeed be whipped. In fact, most cheeses can, if you do it correctly. Boyce, I would only be an arsonist if I intended to light fires for criminal purposes. I do not light fires for criminal purposes, ergo, not an arsonist. I like whipped feta for a variety of things. I use it for, again, I usually can also stuff, if I want to get fancy, I will stuff the olives with the feta and then marinate them. Or I do sometimes a little bit more relaxed, the deconstructed version where I marinate the olives and then put them on a bed of the whipped feta in a bowl. But to make whipped feta, you can do this in either a food processor or in a stand mixer. I'm going to use the mixer today because the food processor is not as easy to move. Next up, the next important thing. Get yourself actual Greek feta. The reason is Greek feta is sheep's milk or goat's milk, depending. It's equally as good, but it's a little creamier because it's sheep's milk or goat's milk. Cow's milk feta is a little drier and not as creamy. Even if you get whole milk feta, it's not as creamy as sheep or goat's milk feta. Dodoni, again, hashtag not sponsored, is one of the best imports that I found, and it's usually the most price conscious. And this is my next trick. You could do this with block feta, and it would be possible. It is easier to do it with crumbled feta when it is already broken up into a number of pieces, so it's easier to go through the mixer or the food processor, and doesn't take as long. I am about making my life easy. So, feta, crumbled variety, really good, and it even will agree to open correctly. Sometimes I get lucky. Sometimes. Feta into the mixer. And take a second and, wipe off anything that's left inside. And if there's still some left inside, that's for you. Look, if you don't take time while you're cooking to taste what you're cooking, how do you know that your cooking is going to taste good? Also, hi, would you like to see my sous chef? Hey, Bella, say hello to the internet. No? Okay. Well, not really a surprise there. She's here to clean everything up for me. Next up, in this beautifulness to make our lives fun, you have 3 options. Some people use sour cream. Not really a fan. And I'm not also, again, I can't eat cow's milk cheeses and or beef, so that's why I do a lot of these things. You could do cream cheese. Not really a fan. I also just don't like the texture that it gives. So instead, we're just going to squoosh some goat cheese. And the reason we squoosh it is to make it come out in pieces without making a giant mess on yourself. So it will mix easier with the feta And this is just going to add a little tartness, and then a little extra creaminess to our feta. Now, seasoning. Garlic powder. Now, the reason I'm using garlic powder is because I want to season this, but not change the color and not have big chunks in it, right? Like I want the flavor of the garlic, but I don't want to have just big chunks of garlic. If I was doing this really fancy, I would take a head of garlic, roast it, and then squish out make the mushy roasted garlic and squish that, but not that fancy. Some good amount of garlic in there, however much you want. I am never going to judge. As we have said before, there is no such thing as too much garlic, but I do know that not everybody has the same desire for garlic. She's like, doesn't exactly. Bella does not work for exposure. Some fresh black pepper. You do not need salt. There's plenty of salt in all of these cheeses. Oh, there she is. Hi, what do you need? What do you need? Let the world know. You need attention? Okay. I'll get you a treat. I'll get you a treat. Give me a sec. I gotta go inside and get you a treat. Okay. I'll go inside and get you a treat, dog. Wow. She literally just walked right inside the door and was like, you said the word treat. I know exactly where those are. You're gonna go get me one now, right? And didn't even look back to see if I was following her. God, I love my dog. She's now standing at the door going, you did not follow me fast enough to bring me my treat. What is wrong with you? Because I'm going to finish 2 seconds this and then I'll go get it for her. A splash of lemon juice. You can use fresh lemon, but store-bought is perfectly acceptable. Just a splash. Or 2. It's going to keep everything nice and bright and good flavor and just a little bit of hint of flavor to it. Now, this is why I use a mixer. This right here. So that when I put it on there, I can drizzle the oil and do it in a way that is, I can adjust the speed and quantity of the oil without causing problems. This is not going to end up right there because the cord is the cord long enough? We'll find out in a second. Oh, no, it might be. Okay. All right. Mixer on. For this first couple seconds, you want to probably do it on a pulse, and you want to do it low, like the lowest setting first. And then you're going to add a little oil to loosen everything up. Give me 2 seconds, everybody. Why are you not working? All right, give me 2 seconds. I have to figure out why this is not working and give her some things. I'll be right back. We'll take a quick 5-minute break, everybody. And thank you for being here. Thank you again, Brian, for bringing your crew over. I hope you are willing to hang out while I take a short break. Nah, not more than 5 minutes. See you in a couple minutes, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I hope you stretched and did all those good things. The dog has been fed, which is what she wanted. She was like, "It's 6:30. Why have I not had dinner yet?" Which, you know, fair. All right. So, shook it up and brought out the handy dandy, when in doubt, long-handled wooden spoon because it is the most useful tool in a kitchen. So that I can do this and loosen it up. And the reason I purposely did that and didn't open it all the way and this is going to be that slow process of pushing. Hey DC, welcome in. This whole process of breaking it up. Now, mind you, it can be just as slow using the food processor as the blender. And yes, I wash my hands between each step, except I go inside to do it. So there is technically a sink out here, but with the setup that I currently have, I am not getting water close to all of the beautiful electronics. Now, periodically, hey, Esoterica, have a good one. Welcome in. I'm so glad you were able to hang out for a little bit. If you need to raid and run, it's always a good thing. Take your time, do yourselves good, well, do all of that. Now, it needs a little more liquid, so I'm just going to use a little bit of cold water, not hot water, just a little cold water. And it's really just enough to add a little bit of liquid into the cheese. You won't taste it, it won't do anything. Yeah, there we go. And you can see that it's starting to whip up as we do this. You can see that it's starting to, you can see that the clumps at the top, while at the bottom it's getting nice and smooth. You take a couple seconds to mix it all up because, like anything you make in a mixer, you want to take that time to take everything the right way. By the way, I'm very much looking forward to putting this on my lamb burger, and it will be absolutely delicious. Sorry, I'll mute the mic while I do this. Sorry it's so loud. At this point, it's getting almost all the way whipped up. You can kind of see it's definitely getting nice and creamy in there. Going to add a little more oil, just a touch. And let it kind of settle in. It'll add some nice texture and flavor. Olive. There are some people who add honey to this. Can't have honey, and I'm not really a fan of, because of what we're gonna do, and we're gonna put this with those olives that are marinating in chili oil. I'm not a fan of honey and chili oil. And while this goes for the last minute, I'm just gonna get a glass dish to put this in. All right, we have achieved whipped feta. You see that? Now I'm going to pour it into this dish. Just pour it into this little glass dish that I got right here. And usually what you want to think about is roughly the same size dish as the plastic container, or at least volume-wise. There goes Bella. She's like, I ate dinner and now I don't have anything to do with the rest of you. All right. Move this out of the way. There you are. Whipped feta. Isn't that pretty? Absolutely gorgeous. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this in the fridge because I've taken out our burgers. It's about time to put the burgers on the thing. So I'm going to put this in the fridge real quick. I'll be right back. The one downside to cooking outside is I do have to go in and out to do things. Yes, Mandy can confirm that the whipped feta is awesome. Mandy was here for whipped feta and olives. And I'm going to put this on my lamb burger in a little bit. Hi, Bella. We can hear you. Thank you. All right. But I'm going to unplug the blender base first and get it out of the way because, you know, I'm going to want that space when I start making up my burger. Put this in the fridge, get this out of the way. Okay. All right. Almost done. Welcome in. Happy Taco Day. It is indeed Taco Tuesday, and I'm not doing tacos. But I am doing ground meat in a variety of, on a bread form. I guess that works. It's the same kind of thing. These out of the way. Again. What? You ate. You can come out. All right. So again, we chilled these lamb burgers we've made with just basic salt, pepper, and garlic. And the reason we chill them is so that when we put them on the grill, they're a little bit easier. Now, we've had the grill heating for a nice long while we were doing other things. And you will notice one thing I did not do. I did not spray my grill. That's because, fun fact, spraying the grill actually can harm the grates. Didn't know that. They actually recommend using a long-handled silicone brush like this and brushing just regular olive oil, or actually canola oil is what they recommended, right on the grates, which I did earlier before we started. And I usually do it before and after. So now we chilled the burgers a little bit in the fridge. Because these are lamb, I put them in the fridge versus if they were in chicken or turkey or salmon, I would put them on the freezer. And now I just let them pop right out of my hand, right like this. Because again, hashtag not sponsored, but Tupperware is great. And then I lay them right in between the two sections of the, see, pops right out, right in the middle of the two burners that are on. And let those kind of go. get these out of the way. I'm going to take 2 seconds and wash my hands and find out what Bella wants. I'm not giving you... You're not getting the lamb burger, dog. You're old. I am sorry that you are old, but you cannot... Your fancy kidney diet means that you cannot have a lamb burger. No. We're going to let that on a medium. Bella wants everything. Bella does want everything. She wants attention. She wants love. All of these things. Dump that water right on the plant that's right there. It can have more things and be happy. All right, I need to check the temperature of our pasta. And the fastest way to do that is bene. All right, bringing out my cutting board, and you'll notice I did not clean the cutting board because it's all the seasoning that was on that eggplant is in this pasta salad. And since the last thing to go in this pasta salad are these tomatoes, which are going to touch that same seasoning anyways, if they happen, and these are washed, by the way, I washed them and stuck them in here just to make my life easier when I came outside, kind of minimize the amount of the stuff that I would have to handle. I don't know what you want, dog. You can literally just walk right off the porch right there. But these are 2 really nice beefsteak tomatoes. Hi, the type of tomato you have, there are different types of tomatoes for different things. You don't use beefsteak tomatoes for tomato sauce. You use them for fresh applications, whether that's in salads or slices that are going to go in your burger, but it does not go in your tomato sauce. And again, just going to rough chop those up, toss them right in the same bowl as everything else, right on top. That out of the way. I can just go right there. As I keep an ear out, because again, that's one of the nice things about a grill is when you are cooking something like burgers, you don't want to flip them too soon. So you want to listen and smell. You eat with all 5 senses. You cook with all 5 senses. And enjoy. And have fun. All right. We got some tomato going down. Fine, fine. Here, would you like a piece of tomato, dog? Sorry, I had to lean over further for her. So, fresh tomatoes going into this pasta salad with banana peppers and eggplant, roasted eggplant. Because as I have discussed, fresh eggplant is you're supposed to press it. About the only thing you don't press fresh eggplant for, or press eggplant for, is if you're making baba ganoush or like something like that. It is really a here, here, here. Oh, you're deaf. Okay. All right. See, have these bright, beautiful colors as we've got right here. But I hear the lamb sparking a little. It still looks okay. the heat has come up both sides, almost ready to flip. So we take this beautiful tomatoes in this pasta salad and we toss everything together to mix it all up. Is that like pretty so far? Then we take our dressing that we made with the vinegar from the sliced banana peppers. This is going to have some nice heat to it. Say that just as I swallow a piece of crushed red pepper raw. So you take the dressing that we made, shake it up really good, pour, just a little couple splashes. I don't like a lot of dressing at this stage because you want to see how much liquid the pasta is going to absorb. And you're just going to toss it all around all of those good veggies and pasta. And then, because this is a trick I learned from my mother, because she is, of course, intelligent and fabulous and wonderful. You take the lid that came with the bowl, cover said bowl, because it's Tupperware and it will eventually snap in place. Come on. There we go. And then all you gotta do is shake it. And that is actually, shaking your salad is literally the best way to make sure that the dressing gets all over every single piece. And we just set that right there. And I take 30 seconds to get this out of the way. Problem is, you can literally walk right off. But we are now at a point, that they're juicing very nicely. You can smell it. You take it, you flip it, and you let it sit and continue to be happy. She wants. I honestly don't. So one of the other tricks to know about if your burgers are ready to be flipped, if it doesn't come away clean, if they don't want to move and it's difficult to get the spatula underneath them. Hi, your meat does not want to come up yet. It means it's not done yet. If it doesn't release easily, it's not done yet. So let me get this out of the way. Let me get a plate and let me do trick number 3. For my next trick, here, you want a treat? You want a treat? Okay, I will give you a treat. Here, Bella, come here. Come here, Bella. Come here. Bella. Bella. The dog's deaf. I don't know what she's hearing. I don't know what's going on, but. Alright. Now, you could just put these burgers on rolls, or we could go fancy and make patty melts. We're going fancy and making patty melts, everybody. This is some very nice, very fresh, local sourdough bread. It smells absolutely divine. I'm sorry that smell-o-vision is not a thing that exists yet for me to share this with you. But you can see how beautiful, look at that. That's some nice crumb on that. Nice, good, thick crust on it. And while those burgers are finishing, just gonna stick it up here on the bread wrap. Let it get warm and toasty. Okay, do you want a cookie? Do you want a treat? I can get you a treat. I gave you, oh, that does not look, oh, baby. Okay. There you go. Okay, well, she has a treat. Okay, no. Hi. Well, but anyways, we're gonna drop the camera. So, we are just about, you see how easy that came up off the grill? Well, actually you can't see it, but I can bring it over here and let you see. Look at how pretty that is. Looking really good. Want to get some more color on that. This one is not coming up yet, therefore it is not. Oops, there we go. There it is. Now you want to make sure the juices run clear when you press them. Ensures that things are in a better state. We are at the point now where I can put the bread, because they're almost done, right on the grill. Let that toast up a little bit. I brought out the whipped feta, because I'm going to put that actually as the cheese and topping for this burger today. So we've got the whipped feta, pasta salad that's going to go in here. We have our wonderful spicy marinated olives that are in here. And I have a dog who, she's got everything she wants, but apparently she's not happy. Which I understand. Still being frustrating. And again, you don't want them to be too toasted. A little crunchy is good, particularly you want that nice sourdough flavor to come through. Now the next trick is something that people do all the time for steaks and never think to do for burgers, and that is to let your burgers rest. I'm just going to take this right off the grill, right like this. See that beautifulness? That looks so good right now. Oh, it smells divine. That one needs a couple extra seconds. Not quite ready yet. But, oh, I'm sorry you're busy and frustrating work, Hawkeye. Again, I want to give a shout out for Hawkeye and thank you for your assistance in this carousel court project that I've been working on. In addition to doing cooking streams, I also do TTRPG streams, and the most recent TTRPG stream that I've started is called Carousel Court. It premiered last Sunday. It is a Southern Gothic urban fantasy set in Savannah, Georgia, spanning 1945 to the year 2000. Some wonderful people have been both playing in that game and helping me out. All right. And Hawkeye was kind enough to do some beautiful recordings. So we've got that second burger right there. Gonna let those rest for a second. Take this beautiful piece of bread. It's all nice and a little bit of color on it. You can see, but not too much. It's still soft, but it's nice and hot. The same for this other one. Got a little bit of color on one side, but that's okay. Funnily enough, it's the opposite side from the other, so it'll be nice color balance and texture balance. And I'm just going to take some of this beautiful whipped feta. It's basically like spreadable now. It's like a beautiful spread. And take that and lusciously spread that all over both sides of the bread. Well, both slices, not both sides, both slices of bread. And, you know, I'm a person who likes cheese, so I'm going to put a little bit of extra on that for me. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, Hawkeye and Painting Pirate, both knocked it out of the park for those recordings that I asked of them. They were absolutely fabulous, absolutely wonderful, and I really did appreciate them. All right, now burgers have rested for a little bit. I'm gonna take them, set them right here. Boop. It's almost like it's a perfect size. Take this, wipe off the knife, get this out of the way. All right, take that burger that we did, let that sit and get happy right there. Take a couple, well, shake it for a second. Take a couple of these beautifully spicy marinated olives. And because it's just me, I'm going to have 5 of them. And I can do what I want. They're my olives. And Kelly's not here to eat them all. I love you, Kelly. I say to make sure that she's not actively lurking. Take some more of that whipped feta. Just set that on the side right there. Wipe the knife a little bit. Make sure I don't make a mess with that. Close the grill. Here's the next trick. To make your grill easier to clean after the fact, let it heat all the way up and burn off any excess things that get stuck. All right, let me take this and put this back in the fridge real quick. All right, got my burgers, got my got my olives and whipped feta. Got some pasta salad right here. Just gonna scoop up a good mix of that with both the peppers and the eggplant and some tomato. All of that right there, just for me. Actually, that's not true. Other people will probably enjoy it, but it's just for me tonight. And there we are. There's dinner tonight, everybody. Hope you had fun. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. Thank you, Brian, Urban Bohemian, for that wonderful raid. Thank you, everybody who hung out and stuck around. I hope you had a lot of fun. Now I get to go eat my wonderful, wonderful dinner and enjoy it. There's a very nice bottle of white wine in my fridge that is calling my name. But we are going to see about rating someone. Oh, Pirate's up. In a second. But hey, everybody. I've been your friendly neighborhood Prax. Thank you for those of you who hung around after Brian's stream. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Brian, again for that raid and bringing your community over and trusting me with them. I will be back probably maybe sometime this week, but definitely Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern for episode 2 of Carousel Court, this Southern Gothic urban fantasy game that I am running. It will be very interesting. Lots of fun, lots of great people and characters, and fun things are happening. Then on Monday night, you can find me over on Wandering DM for Montreal by Night, a Vampire the Masquerade campaign that I am in. All of the fun things that are happening there. But I'm going to let's go raid Pirate, because he was very helpful. And they're actually in the starting soon, so he'll be up there in a second. He was very helpful, so helpful with this Carousel Court campaign. He did a beautiful recording for me. I was really appreciated it. And if you want to know more about what I do, you can follow me on Twitter, @DearJadonlan on Twitter, or Prexagorthesmiaphoria, as you see me here on Twitch. You can click that follow button and it'll notify you when I go live and do another one of these outdoor streams, with or without my mother. You can also follow me on Hive at Prax the Bard over on Hive if you want, or on Instagram at Prax the Bard. And I'm usually hanging out in various people's Discords, and you can see me in chat. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for hanging out while I made dinner. And now I'm gonna go spread some love, as long as it works. Hi. There we go. Let's go raid Pirate and send him some joy and fun. As much joy and fun as you all brought to me. So thank you very much, everybody. Have a good night.